I spent 100 days in Terraria Hardcore Master Mode. Unlike regular Terraria characters, if you die just once, your character gets deleted, meaning that they're gone forever. We begin day 1 with a little bit of world exploration. I've chosen a small world for this challenge so it'll be a little easier for us to get around. However, this also means that there will be less total loot for us to find. To the left, we find a few early game weapons like a blowpipe and a wand of sparking before reaching the ocean, but unfortunately there isn't a single chest for us to loot. To the right, we find a desert temple with a very lucky corn portal as well as a warding sandstorm in the bottle, which is great for early game mobility as well as defense with this modifier. Also, I forgot to put this in the script, but we did find a pair of feral claws in this jungle tree. I only stopped the jungle for like a couple seconds, but we did find this at like literally the very top of the jungle cave. Night falls and I make my way to the right edge of the world where I find myself a finch staff, a great early game summoner weapon that will help us fight off any annoying enemies in our path. We finally arrive at the left side ocean and thankfully there is a chest, so we grab ourselves a shark pet before recalling on just 8 HP. For some reason I wasn't watching my HP, but thankfully we made it out literally just in time. Day 2 is here, so I decide to head into the mines where I pick myself up a mace. While not amazing, it's still the most powerful weapon we've gotten thus far. I head to the surface and spend a little bit of time flattening out an area for us to build a home for the guide and other useful NPCs to help us on our journey. I begin day 3 by building a foundation for our house. Full disclosure, the house I'm building here is heavily inspired by a Pinterest post I found, and by heavily inspired I mean it's pretty much a block for block copy, but oh well. Night falls on day 3 and we've at least gotten enough walls to keep us safe from these pesky zombies. After the zombies have been cleared out, we work through the night and through the entirety of day 4 to try and finish making the starter house. One thing I want to make clear is that I'm going to be pretty much min-maxing before every boss during these 100 days. Hardcore Master Mode is no joke, so taking the time to get the best possible items and gear before each boss is pretty much mandatory. And just as the sun rises on day 5, we've pretty much completed our starter house. It's not perfect, but it's home. For now at least. I then head to the right so I can pick up a few books from the dungeon, but I make extra sure not to go too deep as the dungeon guardian could easily send us back to the character creation screen. I then head back and decide I want to do my first angular quest. It's caught in the tundra, so I craft myself an iron fishing pole and head over. I box myself in after making a little bridge, and before long I get the quest fish. Our first reward from the angler doesn't give much, but I open the 2 wooden crates I got along the way and grab myself a shiny new pair of sailfish boots. Through the night, I do a bit of organization as my chests are getting a little bit messy. Morning is here on day 6, so I begin to make some NPC boxes. Not exactly the most humane homes, but this will allow us to get pylons to set up a pylon network later. Next, we head underground to grab ourselves today's quest fish, and after just a few tries, we reel in the prize jewelfish. As night approaches, we take a quick trip to grab any surface loot that I missed, and we're rewarded with a wooden boomerang, which isn't exactly the strongest weapon, but we are able to combine it with a fallen star to get an enchanted boomerang, a phenomenal weapon for this stage of the game. Through the night, we venture underground into the ice biome and we pick ourselves up a snow cannon, and just below we find our first life crystal along with a blizzard in a bottle. We recall back to base and it's morning on day 7, and the zoologist is selling the forest pylon. But more importantly, it's a new day, so you know what that means. Fishing time. We didn't actually end up getting the quest fish today. I think I was just excited because I fished up an iron crate containing some gravitational potions, so we immediately recall and chug one. We grab ourselves a horseshoe before finding a sky lake. I decide to do a bit of crate fishing, so I chug a crate potion and fish throughout the night. We only got one, but it did have a Star Fury, a strong contender for the best pre-hard mode melee weapon, aside from one which, trust me, we will be getting later. Day 8 is here and I'm not satisfied as I want the fletchling wings, which by the way I did not realize at the time was a 1 in 40 chance from sky crates until much later. Once our potions run out, I recall and unbox a celestial magnet from my sky crate and a life crystal from the gold one. And now it's angler time yet again. And the quest fish is the jewelfish yet again. But we're rewarded with possibly the best angler accessory, the high test fishing line. The reason that this accessory is so good is because it prevents our fishing line from breaking, so no more missing out on potential sky crates. In the evening, I set up a little pots area so we can start growing some of the important potion plants. Day 9 is here and we quickly do our quest and then pop another gravitational potion to make sure I didn't miss any of the sky islands. Then I make my way back home to destroy these living wood trees. I want to start setting up an arena because we're getting close to being able to take on the Eye of Cthulhu. It takes me most of the day and night, but the trees are finally out of our way. Day 10 marks 10% of our challenge complete and also our 5th Angler quest, where he's guaranteed to reward us with the fuzzy carrot, a very respectable early game mount that will allow us to traverse our world faster than usual. We finally begin construction on our long awaited arena in preparation for the Eye of Cthulhu, and also I make sure to add some campfires for extra health regen. After a bit of digging downward, we find ourselves a mushroom biome along with a life crystal, bringing our total health up to 160. We also grab a lucky whoopee cushion from a digger that I never end up using, but oh well. There's a chest here, but all it has is a minecart, so we move on and a giant Shelly drops a rally. Not a weapon we have much use for now, but still a cool find. A lucky fairy leads us to another life crystal and a library containing a band of regen. There were a couple other chests we found, but there wasn't anything notable inside of them, so from now on I'll be skipping over any extra loot we find unless it comes up later. Day 11 is a new day, so we fish up another quest fish and do a bit of extractinating. We don't get much of anything here, but there is a rare pet that I would like to get from doing this. But more importantly, it's time to head back up to the Sky Lake as I've still got my heart set on the fletchling wings. We ended up opening a total of 5 sky crates, but still nothing really to show for it. On day 12, I need a break from fishing, so I head into the caves in search of more silt, and to my surprise, the traveling merchant is here. I'm specifically looking for dynasty wood as it's my favorite material to build with, but any shell phone components would be nice too. He is selling the lifeform analyzer, which is nice, but unfortunately no dynasty wood. I try to lift my spirits by extractinating my 159 silt, but again we pretty much strike out. Fun fact, you actually have a very, very low chance, about 1 in 10,000, of getting a platinum coin from extractinating. I've never gotten this personally, but it would be so cool if that happened. I then realize I still haven't done the quest fish for today, so we quickly do that and then it's back into the mines to look for some more silt. There's only about 100 this time and we don't get much of anything once again, but I will be getting that pet, mark my words. We head back to the tundra as I want to start getting some materials together for the Terraspark boots. While searching, we find a life crystal, ice mirror, web slinger, and a bunch of slush. By the time we come back, it's already well into day 13, so I decide to do some more extractinating where we still get nothing. But of course, we couldn't miss out on the Angler quest and were rewarded with the Sextant, another component of the shell phone. As the sun begins to set, I yearn for the ability to fly, so it's back to the Sky Lake we go. But a few minutes into my potions, we feel an evil presence watching us, so I recall and decide to prepare to fight the Eye. Between our snowball cannon and Star Fury, I thought this fight was going to be a breeze, but then I realized I'm still wearing pumpkin armor, one of the weakest armor sets in the game. Luckily, we are able to win, but we need a serious armor upgrade and fast. Regardless, we did still win, so I happily unwrap the Shield of Cthulhu, and of course the first thing I make with my Crimtane is the fishing rod. Before the Eye, I did get a few crates, but of course there were still no wings in them. Day 14 seems like a good day to do some fishing. Just like every day, so we immediately do our quest fish and head straight up to the Sky Lake. I need these wings. We fish all day and well into the night as the lanterns begin to fly. Wouldn't tonight be such a perfect night to unbox a pair of fletching wings? As the night ends and day 15 begins, we somehow accidentally fish up the quest fish, which I don't think I've ever done before. And it must have used up all my luck because we still didn't get the wings. But of course, in the 5 gold crates that we have, we unboxed the 2% enchanted sword, which might I remind you is rarer than the fletchling wings. It's not exactly that I'm complaining about the sword or the 2 life crystals that came alongside it, but it's not exactly an upgrade as we already have the Star Fury. Like I said, I need these wings, so there's no time to rest and it's back to the Sky Lake. As the sun sets, we have 3 more sky crates to open, but of course, still no luck. From all the fishing we've done, we actually have enough platinum to craft a full set of armor, so we finally upgrade from our pumpkin set. I then make my way over to the underground tundra in search of some more slush, and I grab an ice boomerang as well as a counterweight that I'll never use from the bone merchant. The sun rises on day 16, but we're not there to see it as I get distracted by a fairy that leads me to a life crystal and a useless ice chest. By the time we return home, it's already night, so I spend the night organizing my chests. And just like that, it's already day 17, so I start the day with a bit of extractinating. And yeah, still no pet. Then we head underground to grab the quest fish, and I spot a life crystal that I missed. Then it's back into the Sky Lakes, and surely we're due for these wings soon, right? Please let me be right, please let me be right, please let me be right. We crack open our 2 sky crates, and of course, still no wings. I spend the night heading to the ocean where I pick up some seashells. I'm fresh out of crate potions, and you already know I need as many of those as possible. I begin day 18 with an actually good Angler quest, where we are rewarded with the weather radio. That means we have 2 of the 3 shell phone components from the Angler, so we're making great progress. We fish literally all day, and I can't believe my eyes as the blood moon starts to rise, so I quickly recall to base because there are a few items that I'm after. The thing I'd like most is a bloody tear so that we can do another blood moon whenever I'd like, but also a shark tooth necklace would be great. And a money trough would be nice, but isn't something I'm specifically in need of. After just a few minutes, we dropped the bloody tear and the shark tooth necklace almost back to back, so technically I'd be happy here even if the blood moon ended. As morning comes on day 19, we deposit our loot and eagerly unbox our 5 sky crates that we fished up yesterday. But of course they were just filled with magnets and horseshoes. Today's angler quest is actually caught in the sky lake, so we quickly grab that and then it's straight back to crate fishing. I will get these wings no matter how long it takes. I'm way too invested to stop at this point. After another entire day of fishing, I reel in only 2 sky crates, which is pretty disappointing, and yet again, no wings. Day 20 is here and progress is going a little bit slower than I would like, but I have gathered 24 wooden crates and I'm specifically looking for the aglet. We've gotten a good chunk of the materials together for boot upgrades, and while I don't have the Tinkerer yet, it can't hurt to have the upgrades ready for what we do. The aglet has a mere 1% chance to appear from these wooden crates, and my luck is wasted yet again as we unbox it after only 20 crates. I am happy I got this, but the wings are still taunting me. Today's quest fish is caught in the jungle, so I quickly take care of that before heading underground to the mushroom biome. There's a weapon I've never heard of until I saw it on the wiki today called the Trimarang. It's crafted with an enchanted boomerang, ice boomerang, and the shroomerang. And after only a couple of minutes, we save a spore bat from drowning and I happily collect the shroomerang. We then make our way back to the surface and craft the Trimarang with a lucky godly modifier. Through the night, I do a bit of organizing and collect any fallen stars that I see. As day 21 arrives, it's finally time to dive into the underground jungle. During our expedition, we grab a boomstick, feral claws, another boomstick, flower boots, a weird loaf of bread. Also, since when does this guy sell aglets? I literally had no clue he even could sell this. We then also grab an anklet of the wind, enough life crystals for max life, and a cloud in the bottle before seeing that the traveling merchant has arrived. By the time we're finally done exploring, it's already morning on day 23, and we're really hoping for dynasty wood. But unfortunately, he's not selling it. He does have a stopwatch, which I can't complain about though. I spend the night in the underground desert, and all we find is a useless storm spear. Actually, that's not entirely true because we did find a really cool 15 coin portal. Fun fact, the coin portal actually has a 1 in 500 chance to spawn from each pot you break. Day 24 is here and the angler quests are back, except not really because I actually don't have a single surface fishing area. I actually have no clue what I did today, but my notes literally say nothing, so it's somehow already nighttime. Now it's day 25, which officially marks 1/4 of our challenge complete. I started to decorate the potion area and then slime starts falling from the sky. It takes most of the day, but finally the king slime spawns. By this point, we are way overgeared, so we make quick work of him and finally get the long-awaited royal gel. The lanterns rise at night, and I should be fishing, but instead I end up working through the night on the potion area. Now it's day 26, and we finally have an angler quest that we can do, so I take care of that before going right back to decorating the potion area some more. I spend the night gathering some more wood as I want to start on another build soon, but we awake on day 27 to a goblin army approaching. They aren't too difficult to deal with at this point, so we make quick work of them and immediately head over to the Crimson area to catch our quest fish. Afterwards, we chug a hunter potion and begin searching for the goblin tinkerer. There are so many accessories that we have that are well due for an upgrade. I'm not having much luck here, so I head over to the jungle where we finally find the goblin tinkerer. It's still nighttime, so I decide to spend the rest of the night looking for a bazaar here, since I am going to want one before taking on the queen bee, and thankfully we get one pretty quickly. We recall back to base and it's already well into day 28, so I spend the day combining accessories to get amphibian boots, blizzard in a balloon, sandstorm in a balloon, specter boots, tiger climbing gear, the GPS, lightning boots, and a fart in a jar. Then I head up to the sky lake and it's time for some more fishing. I fish through the remainder of the day and through the night, and we have a total of 6 sky crates to unbox this time. It's now day 29 and I head over to my gnome for some good luck, and yeah, still no wings. I am now able to craft the bundle of balloons though, which is a really cool accessory that really doesn't get much love. I then also combine it with a horseshoe to get the bundle of horseshoe balloons. We have over 3 platinum coins, so I do a bit of reforging to get some nice modifiers on our accessories. We then grab the quest fish and then I head over to the Crimson biome to start work on the arena for the Brain of Cthulhu. After grabbing some potions, I break the 3rd orb and it's time to challenge the brain. Our Trimarang makes quick work of him and we're rewarded with the Brain of Confusion. It's now day 30 and we head over to the mushroom biome to grab the quest fish. Today is an important day as we're finally rewarded with the last piece of the angler armor set. I then head over to the jungle to do some fishing and test out our new gear. We unbox a Staff of Regrowth along with another enchanted sword because, of course we do. The lanterns are in the air, so it's back to the Sky Lake for some crate fishing. We fish all night and into the morning of day 31, and we only fish up 2 more crates, and again, still no wings. Also, I'm well aware that I could totally create a new world and go find them, but that feels kind of cheaty to me. I really want everything I do to be on this character and in this one world. Slime is now falling from the sky again, and I don't actually have the pet, so I take out as many slimes as I can and then the king slime himself, and we're actually rewarded with the pet this time. I spend the night and the morning of day 32 creating this abomination, which let me tell you does not get used at all. We can't forget to skip the quest fish, so I quickly do that, and during the night I try to work on this house, but it just looks so bad that on day 33 I try again, and it still looks bad, so I give up and do some more fishing. We fish well into day 34, and we've got 4 more sky crates to open. Surely we are due for them now, right? But no, still no wings. I'm so tired of fishing for these wings, but I really need them, so I literally fish all day and night and only get 3 more crates to open. But finally, on the last crate, this happened. I got it. I actually got it. If it wasn't obvious enough, I was pretty happy to get these, and after a long-awaited celebration, I realized I still don't have a elevator almost 40 days in, so I begin work on that. Once it's morning on day 35, I head over to the Crimson to quickly do the Angler quest and then work some more on the elevator and finally reach the underworld. I then head back to base, grab some obsidian skin potions, and mine Hellstone for all of day 36. When we arrive back on the surface, we're greeted with our second blood moon, which I don't really care much for, so I spend the night just wandering around my world. But as morning comes on day 37, we're greeted with a goblin army, which at this point is more annoying than anything, so we quickly take care of them, and then we can't forget to do the angler quest, so we take care of that too. I then realize I need a lot of obsidian to pair with this hellstone, so I spend a few minutes grabbing some. With that, I'm able to craft a full set of molten armor, an obsidian skull, a molten pickaxe, the volcano, and a molten ham axe. I then craft the blade of grass in preparation to craft the Knight's Edge, but then I remember I still don't have the Muramasa and I haven't beaten Skeletron yet. Oh, and also I make sure to reforge my volcano to godly. As much as I want the Knight's Edge, I awake on day 38 with an itch to build. I build all throughout the day, so much so that I even forgot to do the Angler quest. Night falls and there's another blood moon, so I then remember that there are actually some really cool things you can get from blood moon fishing specifically, and what I'm looking for is the vampire frog staff. A wandering eye gets me really low as I forgot to swap off my angler armor, but thankfully we're able to recall just in time. I then spend the rest of the night fishing and only end up getting some chum buckets. It's day 39 and it's back to building for me. My NPCs are probably getting tired of living in boxes and I want them to have a better place to live. I ended up tearing it down and rebuilding it all day because I couldn't quite get it to look like the reference build. Day 40 is here and the traveling merchant is visiting. He does have the paint sprayer, which I do buy, but other than that, nothing worth noting. I take a break from building as I want to make some more progress towards the Terraspark boots, so I craft the lava-proof bug net and head to the underworld to catch some critters. I don't have any luck fishing, so I head back to the surface and make some more progress on our build. I begin day 41 by, of course, getting the quest fish, and by this point, we should probably be getting somewhat close to getting the golden fishing rod. For some reason, I forgot to press record on day 42, but then I finally realized when I saw that the traveling merchant was here. And of course, today just had to be the day that he was selling Dynasty Wood, but I really will not complain. The rest of day 42, I spent working more on the house, and I kept trying to make some cool moon-shaped pattern on the roof, but I could just not get it to look good. Somehow, on day 43, the traveling merchant is here again, and of course he has Dynasty Wood. I forget what it's used for, but I buy the press raider and stopwatch too because I can't remember if I already have one. The rest of the day is again spent working on the house, and I'd like to say that it's coming along nicely. I did some cool grass and living leaf wall pattern and plan on decorating this room some more later. Also, I used some of my fallen stars to craft stars in a bottle to decorate the outside of the house. Time is flying by as it's already day 44 and we of course couldn't help but spend more time on the base. I quickly run and do today's angler quest, and today is finally the day that we are rewarded with the golden fishing rod. We work throughout the night as I experiment with different wall patterns, but I just couldn't find one that I was really in love with, so I ended up going with more wood and stone. As the sun rises on day 45, the base is nearing completion and I'm really happy with the way it's turning out. I decorate a little attic area, add a staircase, place walls in the final room, decorate some more, and just like that, it's already day 46. I placed this yellow butterfly in this room and then headed left because it's about time that we challenge Skeletron. I begin working on the arena and I'm able to finish it and grab some buffs before night falls. We talk to the old man and awaken Skeletron, and it's time to fight. Thanks to our Trimarine and Volcano, we're able to make quick work of him. On day 47, we make our way down into the dungeon and we're able to grab a handgun, Shadow Key, Bewitching Table, Blue Moon, a Valor, Magic Missile, and a Cobalt Shield, but unfortunately no Muramasa, so we'll have to go back for that later. And by later, I mean right now, so I immediately go back and find one. And I did find the mechanic, but I cannot find the clip for the life of me, so just pretend this is her. I then recall and craft the Blood Butcher, and I finally have everything I need to craft the Knight's Edge. Upon arriving in the Crimson biome, I happily craft up the Knight's Edge at last. I then move the Goblin Tinkerer and Mechanic into the new home I built and proceed to waste every coin I own and still not get legendary on the Knight's Edge. On day 48, I open up a bunch of stored crates and sell the loot in an attempt to get legendary on the Knight's Edge once again. But of course the Goblin Tinker strikes again and we don't get it. I then decide it's about time I make a cavern base, so I grab my explosives and start clearing out a nice area. During the night, I head back to the surface to do a bit of tundra fishing. My hope is to fish up the biome crate here and unbox some ice skates. Morning is here on day 49 and we've got 9 frozen crates to open. Luckily, the ice skates aren't all that rare, so we get them after just 4 crates. We have 5 more, but I decide to save them in case I want to use them in a build later. I then make my way over to the Tinkerer's workshop and craft myself up the Frostspark boots. I make my way straight to the underworld, as all we need for the Terraspark boots now is the Lava Charm, which can be fished up from obsidian crates here. We spend all night fishing and we even fish up a Demon Conch along with 6 obsidian crates. It's almost morning on day 50 when we make it back to base and we open up our loot. We don't get the lava charm we're looking for, but we do get the lava proof fishing hook, a very handy accessory that can be combined with the angular tackle bag to create the lava proof tackle bag, so we happily craft that up. I then make my way back down to the underworld in another attempt to get the lava charm. We get a total of 11 crates this time, and by the time we recall, it's day 51 and we're greeted with another goblin army. Once defeated, we open the boxes and on our 6th one we actually get the lava charm. Also, there was a fire imp that dropped an obsidian rose, but I genuinely cannot find the clip. If I do, you'll see it here, and if not, you'll just have to take my word for it. I then combine the lava charm and obsidian skull to create the molten charm, and the molten charm with the obsidian rose and water walking boots to make the lava waters, and finally the Terraspark boots. During the night, I try a few more reforges on the Knight's Edge, but no luck. Now it's time to head back into the mines and finish clearing out an area for our cavern base. It's day 52, but we're still underground working hard. I then make a quick trip to the surface to grab some shine potions, as it's almost impossible to see down here in the dark. I want to use some sandstone brick in this build, so I grab some dynamite and head over to the desert pyramid to blow some of it up. I then buy some gray paint and head back underground to start construction on a massive bridge. We continue to work into day 53 and the pillars are coming along nicely. Once it's nighttime, we begin construction on the actual base itself, and I'll just let you guys watch this one. By the time we're just about done, it's already day 59, but I really like the way that this came out. So unfortunately, I have some bad news. This is my first time ever recording a big video like this, and days 60 to 69 somehow got completely lost. I really am bummed about this as the video won't be as polished, but hopefully you guys still can enjoy the video. Again, I'm really sorry about this, and I'll make sure that my future videos don't have missing days like this. It's day 70, and you get to see part of what I did during the past 10 days at our graveyard biome. The area looks absolutely amazing to me, and hopefully you guys think so too. We head over to the desert, and I continue work on a village that you guys are just now seeing for the first time. There are 2 more really nice houses though that you guys will get to see constructed. I spend the rest of the night working on the roof, and thankfully I'm able to get it finished. And before we know it, it's already day 71. We begin work on the second house by laying the foundation, and between days 72 and 74, we're able to get it complete. Day 75, I work on a fishing area so that we'll be able to get as many oysters and crates as we need. I also go back and paint all of it brown to really match the color scheme of the rest of the town. Day 76 is here, and we begin work on yet another house. But before that, I have to go collect some sand to make sure the area is nice and flat. We work through the night and into day 76, and the outline is really starting to come together. It takes me most of the day, but I'm able to get the roofs done on this house as well. During the night, we place walls and a few decorative items and experiment with some wall designs. We get the build pretty much complete as the sun comes up on day 77, but I'm going to add a crane on the side of it. I make my way back to the base to grab some materials and begin work on it just as the sun begins to set. I end up getting it done, but it kinda looks like more of a cage than a crane to me, but oh well. Just as the night is about to end, I get the itch to do an angler quest, so I quickly reel in the harpy fish and turn it in. Just after the sun rises on day 78, we're able to do yet another angler quest, and this time we're rewarded with the golden bug net, an item I completely forgot existed until we got it just now. I spend the day decorating the village with some fences and then decide to do a bit of desert fishing. There's actually some really nice loot we can get from oasis crates like the bass statue, which increases your defense by 5 when around it. Not to mention the ancient chisel, which increases your mining speed by a whopping 25%. The reason I want this is because I plan on digging trenches around our important areas to prevent corruption or hallow spreading into them once hard mode starts. This will also make it a lot easier to clear out once we get our hands on the Clantaminator. We fish all through the night and finally stop on the morning of day 79. We crack open all our crates and make quite a bit of coin off of selling it all. Unfortunately, no bass statue or chisel though from our 3 oasis crates. I spend the rest of the day fishing again, and this time we have a massive 16 oasis crates to open. We get some super amazing items such as a 3rd enchanted sword, an ancient chisel, a magic conch, and a 2nd ancient chisel. I then place the 5 remaining crates by the fishing bridge for a little bit of decoration. It's now day 80, and with all this money, I head down to the Goblin Tinker and we finally get the legendary Reforge on our Night's Edge. I then open almost 200 oysters and am rewarded with 2 pink pearls. I then head to the mechanic and I realize it's about time we get the Grand Design. This is an extremely handy item specifically in hardcore mode. This item allows you to see wires hooked up to dangerous traps that could easily kill us without having to swap to it in our hotbar. I've had some active stone blocks in my hotbar since the beginning of the game, and having to not constantly swap to those will be super handy. On day 81, I begin clearing out an area near our cavern base for a mob farm. Normally this isn't something I would do, but I'm making this farm for one item specifically, the bone pickaxe. The bone pickaxe is the fastest pre-hard mode pickaxe, and it is exactly what I want to get my hands on. Again, we're trying to get our mining speed as fast as possible before digging out tunnels around our important areas. It takes me all day and night, but we get most of the outline completed. On day 82, I craft some stone slabs to line the area, and with the outline complete, we spend the remainder of the day blowing up all the extra blocks on the inside. After a bit more exploding, I have an awful realization. This farm won't be spawning enemies in the cavern layer as it's built too high up. This really sucks. Annoyed but motivated to get the bone pickaxe, I spend day 83 expanding the area downward so that our platform won't be spawning enemies too high up anymore. By the time we're done, it's already day 84 and we're able to construct this volcano looking thing that basically traps enemies inside and provides an easy way to collect their loot. With that done, it's time for an extremely tedious task, filling the entire lower half with walls to prevent anything from spawning there. It takes me the rest of day 84 and all of day 85, but finally we've completed it. On day 86, we finally got the farm up and running, and I decided to spend the day testing it out. We do end up getting a few things, but nothing really worth noting. Undead miners also aren't spawning very often, which makes this whole thing a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I spend day 87 testing the farm once again, and this time we actually do get something cool. A nymph spawns and drops us a metal detector. With that, I now have everything I need to craft the shell phone, so I gather all the materials up and finally craft it. The next thing I want to do is really just to get the bone pickaxe. I mean, I built this entire farm for the sole purpose of getting one, so I'm willing to wait as long as I need to. My computer was running low on storage, so I wasn't actually able to live record each of these sessions, but I did start recording when this happened. On day 98 of all days, we finally get the bone pickaxe. 98 is such an awkward date to get this because there's not much time to do much of anything, but I also can't just sit around for 2 days and do nothing. Well, now that I have it, I make sure to get the perfect reforge on it, and then I spend the rest of day 98 and all of day 99 digging a few elevators around important biomes. I can't get all of them done, but at least we'll have a few ready next time we want to work on this. As the sun rises on day 100, I can't help but want to take a stroll through our world and look at all the things we've accomplished. Our starter house, the very first build in this world. And to think I still store all my items in these ugly chest towers too. During 200 days, I will be fixing this because I cannot leave the world looking like this forever. Oh, and don't even get me started on this ugly looking potion farm. I thought this thing was going to end up looking way better, but man, this thing sucks. And of course, our desert village. Part of which you guys didn't get to see me build, but this is probably one of the best looking bases on our entire world in my opinion. As I revisit some of these other locations, I want to share a few thoughts with you guys. This was never meant to be a 100 days video or even a video at all. My brother and I were both playing hardcore alongside each other, and I wanted to record my adventure in case anything funny happened, and so that someday I could look back on the adventure I had here today. I know this video isn't perfect, there's some lost clips and even 10 whole days worth of footage, but this is my first time trying to make a video like this, and I've learned a lot throughout the process of script writing and editing this video down. This took an insane amount of time to record and edit, so I would really appreciate it if you guys consider subscribing. I haven't posted a Terraria video here before, so I'd appreciate it if you guys gave me a little bit of feedback on this video, as well as letting me know if you guys would like to see 200 days in the future. As the sun sets on day 100, there's only one place where our journey should end. That's right, the Sky Lake. And as fate would have it, we even fish up a sky crate. Another chance at a pair of fletching wings.